Costco has done it again with deals on Leatherman tools. This time you get a really solid deal on the Leatherman Sidekick. The Leatherman Sidekick is part of the Wingman family of multi-tools in the sense that it's the same size, has the same footprint slash silhouette, but of course it varies in its tool set in contrast to the Wingman and Bolster, which share the same size and footprint. And when I say it's a good deal, I mean the fact that it only retails for $50 in contrast to the $70 retail price of the Sidekick directly from Leatherman, and it still includes a nylon sheath. In a world where Leatherman is constantly, unfortunately, increasing most of its prices on all of its tools and silently getting rid of the included sheaths with the tools, it's really nice to see a Leatherman tool at a real solid price that's less than retail and still including another carry option with the nylon sheath. Of course, you are required to have a Costco membership in order to take advantage of this deal, but for those of you who do, this is a nice option if you're looking for a more budget Leatherman tool, or of course with the holidays coming up, a nice solid gift for someone. The Leatherman Sidekick features an all stainless steel handle. The Leatherman Sidekick is part of a family of Leatherman tools, what I like to call the smaller pocket size multi-tools, in the sense that they're smaller than like the Wave, the Charge, and the Free series, but they're still big enough that it includes a pocket clip and you can easily carry it in your pocket, and they're obviously bigger than the keychain size multi-tools like the Micra, and you can also carry it in a sheath. You don't have to, but it's always nice to have that option. The Leatherman Sidekick has a stainless steel pocket clip. The frame and outer are all stainless steel. There are two outside accessible tools. First up is the plain edge 420HC stainless steel blade. 420HC is the standard steel utilized in most of Leatherman's knives and multi-tools. 420HC is an American-made steel that excels in toughness, has decent stainlessness, and while it doesn't hold an edge for the longest, it is fairly easy to maintain, and of course it is liner locking, which is nice. It's obviously one-hand operable with that thumb hole, and then on the reverse side you have a thumb hole operable saw. Of course, the saw is great for cutting through more fibrous materials and like wood and plastic, and it too is liner locking, which is nice. You access all the other tools by opening up the pliers, and speaking of which, in terms of the pliers, they are spring action, which is my personal preference when it comes to EDC pliers. I just like how you can grip on something, and then to open up the pliers, it kind of automatically does that when you simply expand your hand instead of having to manually open them up. Again, it's just my personal preference, but it is welcome. Like pretty much all Leatherman tools, it features both regular and needle nose pliers, as well as both regular and hard wire cutters. This being a more budget Leatherman tool means that the wire cutters are not replaceable, but of course that's acceptable for its price point. And then on this side, you can open up two tools. You have your 2.5D Phillips head driver, as well as the pry bar slash large flathead screwdriver. Both of these tools you can extend out. They aren't locking, but they do have a nice detent to them, so you can't really accidentally fold the tool closed without a strong force. You simply push them back into place and you can hide them away. And then on the other side, you have three other tools plus a lanyard hole, which is another carrying option. Lanyard hole you can open out, add a lanyard, or like clip this to something. You have the signature Leatherman combination bottle opener, can opener, and wire stripper right here. You have the wire stripper right here, as well as the can slash bottle opener, which is found on a lot of other Leatherman multi-tools. And then next up, you have a combination file slash small flathead screwdriver. On the tip, obviously, that's the flathead screwdriver. You do have a cross file, and then on the other end, you have a small ruler, but because it's so small, it's more of a depth gauge than a full-on ruler. And lastly, you have a third blade on the inside. You do have a dedicated serrated blade. It is kind of awkward to get out, in my opinion. This is probably my least favorite design tool of the Sidekick because of the way you open it, but you do have a third blade. This is good for cutting through more fibrous materials like rope. It is not locking, and you will kind of have to fold the knife against your fingers when closing it. Again, it's probably my least favorite part of the Sidekick's design. Then I kind of forgot forgot to show you, but in terms of using the tools on the inside, you're going to open it up to its extent. You can technically use it like this, but the best way to use them all is to fold back the pliers and then use the tools like so. As I showed earlier, it does include a nylon belt sheath. It has a solid button lock. It is made in China, but I think it is pretty solid for what it is. The Sidekick fits in quite nicely. If you don't want to use the lanyard or pocket clip, close the button and then you can wear it on your belt or keep it in a tool pouch and protect the tool. It's nice to see that Costco opted to include the sheath. Unfortunately, a month or so ago, Leatherman pretty much stopped including the nylon sheath in all of their tools, even their more expensive tools like the Arc and the Wave Alpha. So it's cool to see that Costco is still including the nylon sheath for the Sidekick. And of course, the entire package is $20 cheaper than the standard retail price. For it being $20 cheaper than the standard retail price of the Sidekick and including the sheath, it's really a no-brainer if you're looking for a more budget, pocket-sized Leatherman tool or a nice gift for someone for the holidays that are coming up soon. The Leatherman Wingman was my first ever Leatherman tool. The main difference was that instead of the saw, it had scissors on the outside, and instead of the serrated blade on the inside, it utilized a dedicated package opener. But I really love the spring action of the Wingman family, and I think for its size and price, you are getting a lot of functionality for the price. So I definitely recommend those of you fellow Costco members who don't have a Leatherman or are looking to gift a Leatherman for someone, definitely pick up the Leatherman Sidekick for that great discount with the addition of the free sheath.